the Glory, led there by Mustafa Amini. They have found fantastic form. Anyone who has watched the A-Leagues All Access with Ruben Zatkovic will know just how much passion there is running through this club at the moment. And his very interesting mix of old school rev up and new school analytics seems to be doing the job for the Glory. Matthew Yerman will be leading out Newcastle, and as you can see there, they're wearing their white and gold away kit, but good to see that Yerman is taking plenty of interest in the youngster there that will be accompanying him out onto the pitch. And the final assistant referee makes his way up to complete the complement. That is Arvind Shanmuganathan. And our central referee, Sean Evans, is going to grab the ball and lead these two teams out onto the pitch tonight. Plenty of crossover in terms of former players between these two sides as well. We'll get to that during the course of the game. Plenty of cross-pollination. It means that there could be some long memories between these two sides. There is a good feeling amongst Glory once again. 6 unbeaten at home, 4 wins, 2 draws, yet to be defeated at Macedonia Park. And the purple and orange will once again be looking to defend home turf here. They line up with 2 changes to the starting 11. Luke Bodnar and Anthony Burke-Gilroy are the starters. Zach Duncan drops to the bench. Trent Ostler and the returning Adam Taggart amongst the substitutes. John Katrumbas out with a groin strain. Giordano Colli also making way out of Ruben Zatkovic's matchday squad. One player in particular tonight, Jordan Elsey, this match has real significance because he's up against his former club, 1 game removed. He was mutually terminated from the Jets, quickly signed by the Glory. Speaking of A-Leagues All Access, he was one of the players who took defeat particularly hard for Newcastle, but now he's wearing Glory's colours and trying to inflict a defeat upon them. Let's take a look at the Newcastle team then. No changes to the starting 11 that were 4-0 winners last time out. Callum Timmins is added to the substitutes. Yet another player trying to come back to haunt his former team. There is no place in Arthur Pappas's matchday squad for Mark Natter. But otherwise, a picture of stability for this Jets team that has been looking so desperately for a winning combination. Ruben Zatkovic is the Perth Glory coach. He will no doubt be providing us a soundtrack to the game from the sidelines. Always full of voice. And he's looking a bit tense prior to kick-off here tonight. He knows that expectations are building for this Glory team. Just a little bit of a hold-up here pre-kick-off. It seems as though everything is in order, though. 11 versus 11. Yep, the referee's happy. And as the crowd swell to a crescendo, the game gets underway. And Perth Glory, through Mark Beavers, will be attacking long out to the right flank immediately. Matt Yerman wins an early header. And from right back, Dane Ingham will clear away. Perth Glory taking over immediately, though. Luke Bodnar trying for the fast rush start here, the Glory. Now Ryan Williams. Determined to make an attack happen from kick-off here. Squared now. Great little touch into the box. Jelacic side netting. And as I welcome Grace Gill, former Matilda, to the broadcast, Grace, they were determined to score before I could say good evening to you.
Well, welcome to Macedonia Park, and what an entry that is for the Perth Glory to get things underway in quite a fury.
Keegan Jelacic, great close control there, and the shot tried to beat the keeper at his near post.
A lively start. We've seen Perth Glory start in such fashion for a few games now, and despite a hot evening, the intensity, the message that sends really early on here at Macedonia Park is a strong one.
Steins, a diagonal pass, asking a little bit too much of Piscopo. Latchman, the centre-back, marauding forward. Don't the crowd love this? It's opened up for him. Daryl Latchman! Oh, it needed the finish. He thought he was Beckenbauer for 10 seconds there, from centre-back to the edge of the box, and somehow he missed the target.
Daryl Latchman completely unopposed. The Newcastle Jets defensive line had melted away, and he's absolutely lashed that to the side of the goal. What a golden opportunity for Perth to go in front in what would have been extremely against the run of play.
First time ball. Jets trying to move it on at all costs here. Breakneck speed. Steins jagging in, but he's crunched. He wins the foul. Perhaps Jelicic is right to protest there. Yellow card as well. Sean Evans produces the first booking in the match, and there's a little bit of afters, and Daniel Steins, I think he's seeing red here against his former club. Maybe there are some long memories and some words being exchanged, because it's hold me back, bro. And Steins is dragged away. He really wants to go on with it here. He's not happy with how he was tackled.
He's having a stiff conversation there with Sean Evans. As we have a look on the replay, it is an intense challenge. I think Steins was questioning whether the studs were raised from Jelicic as he came in on that one.
Really difficult pass to control for Jelicic. Came back to forward with interest, and Jelicic now a little bit smoother from the Glory. Amini with a long shot, and it's right between the eyes for Jack Duncan. So first shot on target for the Perth Glory, but easily held on to by the Newcastle keeper.
Well, Jack Duncan, he's had a busy year between the sticks for Newcastle, but one of the best save percentages in the league. That one didn't fuss him too much.
Amini still yet to score for his new employers, the Glory. His most recent goal was in Sydney FC Sky Blue back in March. A few promising shots throughout the course of the season, many of them in home games here at Macedonia Park to this very end, Grace. So maybe he fancies this end, it's his range.
I'm somewhat surprised Amini hasn't found the back of the net this season. He has been so important for Perth. Just his work rate on the ball, off the ball as well. He does in the way of running, hard work, physical challenges. He's integral to Jabkovic's side.
Now, a mid-range free kick here, which King Jelicic is very precisely spinning the ball and put it into the box. So it's Keegan Jelicic. And the ball swinging to the far post, and physical attack on the ball there from Elsie leads to the foul. And now there's some afters. Angus Thurgate just came over to give some what for to Elsie, perhaps taking exception to how Hoffman was dealt with. Elsie's quick to leave the scene, and there's no further action taken.
Well, it was a good delivery. Great whip on that one. Hoffman just collected heavily in the back by Elsie there, and he has stayed down after that challenge.
Here's Williams. This is his corner. Ryan Williams tries to set it up. Turned off the line, and then Jelicic is denied. So close, the combination of Duncan and defence, able to scramble it away. Keegan Jelicic nearly doubled his tally of goals this season.
That is a seriously impressive point-blank save there from Jack Duncan. Some whip on this cross from Williams. How Perth haven't managed to find that one in the back of the net, I do not know.
Great reflex save, and now contact penalty! Jelicic making up for the disappointment of having the save a moment ago by sending Glory to the spot.
Well, the momentum certainly started to swing back in Perth Glory's direction, and with a couple of chances in as many minutes, this penalty may be what opens scoring.
See here, it's Daniel Steins, the former Glory man, who found Keegan Jelicic, and that was, again, a reversal of the yellow card earlier in the game, which left Steins so upset. However, he hasn't been able to channel his frustration, and look at this, there's lots of intimidation going on here of David Williams. Angus Thurgate is jostling him at the penalty spot. Now Jack Duncan is getting a talking to. These two teams really don't like each other, Grace.
Oh, there's some serious fire in this match, you can feel it. A lot of bodies in and around that penalty mark. But it was clever by Jelicic, really well done. To play the ball one way and run the other, and Steins just got a leg in the way.
David Williams has claimed the ball. He's going to take this penalty. Would you believe, in his first 14 meetings with the Newcastle Jets, he didn't find the back of the net. He scored 5 in now 21 appearances against them. 3 of them were for Wellington in a hat-trick scored back in March 2019. So he faces Jack Duncan here, who is trying to keep the clean sheet intact. And the game balanced at 0-0. The home fans find their voice. It's David Williams from the penalty spot for the Glory. Duncan comes up trumps. David Williams is denied, and Duncan keeps the game at 0-0 with a top draw save.
That is a class save there from Jack Duncan. And the keeper in such good form this season. Adds to his goal-saving heroics. And once again, he's stood up big for the Newcastle Jets. That is a wonderful save.
Well, he had to read that like a book in order to get down to the bottom corner there. Still a corner to deal with. That's where the ball is going, beyond even. And it's turned in! Luke Bodnar with the header. And the Glory get the goal. They'll feel as though their first half is deserved, as Bodnar scores in the A-League men's for the very first time.
Macedonia Park continues on as the fortress here for Perth Glory. They had chances. This wasn't the first of them. They've come knocking on a few occasions now, and Bodnar well on that occasion in front of the home crowd. And on the Harvey Norman replay, the delivery to the far post, Jack Duncan can't get the contact he needs there, and Bodnar is lurking at the far post, does really well to steer that one back into the opposite side netting. Give Perth the lead just before the half-time break.
Well, it's a horrible feeling as a goalkeeper just to wave at thin air. You can't help but think that they had Alte and Jenkinson there near the post, but perhaps neither of them were expecting a header to be coming back. Newcastle want to make that a moot point by equalising right here before the break. Hoffman is going to shoot from distance, and Cook is able to palm it around the post. And now there's afters with Angus Thurgate. And this game, which has been simmering throughout the first half, is now coming to the boil.
Had some feeling about it this first 45 minutes, and starting to pile on.
Well, it's really escalating. Stein's involved, Latchman involved. And look at that, Cook. He's now playing the peacemaker. Let's take a closer look at how this all exploded.
It was a great strike from Hoffman. His eyes lit up, and an equally good save from Cook. He's gone with the correct arm. It's that trailing leg from Thurgate there. Cook wasn't happy about it.
Well, it's his reaction that kicks everything off, and then he ends it by trying to cool things down. What a good save it was too. Hoffman firing on goal. Hasn't scored since April of last year, so they've become rarities for Jason Hoffman, but he's been foiled by a top draw save. Hangs it high. Hoffman the target. Was he tunnelled by Ford? There's a foul there as Perth clear instead. It's never a great feeling when you leap up for the ball and you have your legs taken out from under you before landing.
It's that moment of weightlessness when you lose your legs from under you. Come down pretty heavily. Hoffman back to his feet though, it's good to see.
So that should be that at the end of an action-packed first half. It is. And so the Glory fans, you know their team are halfway home to 7 unbeaten at Macedonia Park, thanks to a first A-League men's goal from Luke Bodnar. His header is the difference between the two teams at the moment. And those Glory fans should be happy, because it's been good A-League fare so far. And the scoreline reads Perth Glory 1, Newcastle Jets 0. So kick-off at the start of the second half. Dane Ingham with a long ball immediately down into the penalty area, but Mikkel Tante beyond obligating Cameron Cook to pick the ball up. Not really threatening. So, Grace Gill. It's hard to believe there's half of this game to go. We had so much to fill our plate in the first 45, yet what direction is the game going to go in now?
Well, I was really impressed with the intensity, the level of energy in that first 45 minutes, especially under such conditions, and still sitting at around 30 degrees in Macedonia Park. So to be playing with that level of energy from both sides, I imagine we'll see a similar second 45 minutes as Newcastle look to try and get themselves back into this one.
Newcastle have made a half-time substitution. You see the number 7 there, Trent Bahaja. He has come on for Daniel Steins. And Grace, I find that very confusing, because we spoke about Daniel Steins' level of motivation to play in that first half. He was attracting fouls. He was one of the reasons the game was so spicy, and yet he's now had to make way. I know Bahaja scored a great goal last week, but does seem a little confusing that Stones is the player they'd sacrifice. Hoffman puts his head down again, playing with real determination tonight. Continues the run, but pass wasn't forthcoming. Altain. Jenkinson has to go backwards to field his pass. And drops it neatly out to Thurgate. Piscopo. Tadze and Piscopo! That is true brilliance! And he silences the Glory crowd. Yeah, there has been some chirp in this game, but it's Newcastle and Piscopo who are letting their football do the talking.
Well, that is a delightful finish from Reno Piscopo. World class. Behind that one, and Cameron Cook frustrated. Could have done about that one. A beautiful finish from the midfielder, and Harvey Norman replay. A lovely little give and go. First time hit. It's cleared out the cobwebs in the top stand for Piscopo. But what a delightful finish.
That was a real surface-to-air missile, and that is, it's what you dream of as a footballer, Grace, to put one right there, and yet says to the crowd, keep giving it to me. Lots of chatter. Forward, decision time. Chich says, no, not me. It's the first touch off the bench. Forward. Glory dominating the ball now. Jelicic streaks back in. Tries for a foul. Oh, is that a cramp? Looks like it might just be a cramp for Reno Piscopo. He's out of the equation defending this phase of play. Amini whips it across. Stooping down to the header. Well done on that occasion by Jenkinson. Latchman trying to catch him. Bahaja runs wide, and he's trying to do a lot on an acute angle there. I guess if you're Daryl Latchman, you know that even if the quicker man backs his pace, it's a very tight angle to work with.
Just his first couple of steps there from Bahaja. You can see his acceleration after that first touch. Daryl Latchman does really well just to keep his stride.
Beavers. Ford being allowed a bit of space. The defender comes in to close. Skips around Bahaja, tumbling into the box. And second time ball in. Dealt with once more. Amini. He steps out of the way. Duncan. Elsie. Now the cross whipped in. Skimming to Williams. Oh, and he was hunting a deflection there more than anything. That shot was a mile off target, but could have caught any number of feet. Instead, he struck it true for a goal kick.
Did really well to come and meet this ball, did David Williams, just first to it. Didn't quite get the right connection he wanted on that strike, but has continued to look really lively tonight.
Long diagonal ball. Beavers is up, and it's there! Mark Beavers, first goal in Glory colours, and Macedonia Park is celebrating once again.
What a moment for Perth Glory. What a moment for Mark Beavers. Macedonia Park is absolutely going off here.
It's Beaver's first goal at any level since 2019 when he scored for Bolton against Leeds in the Championship. What a great moment.
On the Harvey Norman replay, it's a long, lofty ball. Jack Duncan, he's come out, he's committed to that, but it's Mark Beavers who's beaten him to the aerial challenge. And a beautifully timed header nestles its way into the back of the net.
Well, Archie Goodwin, he came on and he scored late last week for the Jets. That was icing on a 4-0 win. This time, they need him to come on and grab an equaliser. So could this be the answer for the Jets here as they turn to their teenage sensation, still only 18. 4 goals in 22 A-League men's games, almost all of them as a substitute as well. Of course, he did score against Perth Glory in the Australia Cup in the qualifying round right at the end of last season. So even though he hasn't scored against them in the A-League, at least he knows what it is like to come off the bench and put one in the back of the net against the team in purple. Asking too much of Bahaja with that pass though. Glory Douse just boots it clear. Take up to 87 minutes. Newcastle will be asking for 5, 6, maybe even 7 minutes of stoppage to keep chasing the game. Bahaja, Cook was indecisive, and it's turned in! Archie Goodwin, the magic touch! This teen sensation brings the game level, and when the Jets turn to him, he delivers.
Oh, look at the sideline, look at the players. Arthur Pappas is down there celebrating with the team. And Archie Goodwin, what an inclusion, what a super sub. The youngster, 18 years old, this player is. And what a finish too. Newcastle Jets have had moments. Bahaja with his pace, his speed. Archie Goodwin left completely unmarked, just at the 6-yard box and nods it home.
It was indecisive keeping from Cameron Cook, you'd have to say. And even though Goodwin was unmarked, should the cross have even made it to him. It's his 2nd goal of the season. And it's his 5th in the A-League men's in just 23 appearances, but he gets so few minutes, Grace, and he just delivers every time the Jets have something to ask of him. You've got to ask why he doesn't play a whole lot more. What a night of A-League football. And after 99 minutes of it, we don't find a winner, but we did find it mightily entertaining. And Becca Mikkeltadze, he didn't want it to end. I don't think too many of the fans did either, because it was a sensational game, end to end from the off. And ultimately, Perth will mull over giving up the lead twice. That young man, Archie Goodwin, grabbed a share of the points for Newcastle. It finished Perth Glory 2, Newcastle Jets 2.